What's going on, guys? We're back with another show. This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world because, gosh, there's no bigger opportunity than crypto over the next, things are ticking down. We used to say next couple of years, but man, I don't think we have a couple of years. So it's going to be fun. Welcome along on the journey, everybody. Corey, take it away.
Good morning, Heplikins. How are we doing today? I usually don't use this unless we're pumping, but we've been gone so long. I figure I'd come back in and do our introduction right. Guys, we are, been just so busy traveling around. In fact, we're late today because Dane was on an apartment syndication group doing market updates, and they invited him to come on and talk about crypto. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, you got to go on there and give the guys some sauce of where we're at in the market cycle and what some expectations are. It's been just a lot of fun to kind of be the premier crypto guys of that community. And we're just having a blast. Like we said, we're going to be using cryptocurrencies, that wealth creation tool, and using real estate as that wealth preservation tool. And whenever you guys are feeling ready to have some exposure in some real world assets, right now, obviously, is not the opportunity. But when you are, make sure to think of us, make sure to look us up. Make sure to come and have a conversation with us so we can get you in some real bear market hedge assets. We're absolutely excited. So, let's do an open mic show today. It is Friday, and I think it's Good Friday, if I'm not mistaken. This is this is a very religious holiday, and so we all should be paying respect with that. And Easter Sunday, so that's crazy. This snuck up on me fast, Dane. The year's already turning over so fast. I don't even know what's going on. I can't believe we're already at Easter. This is absolutely insane. Guys, come on. I dropped the link. Get in the show today. Let's talk about, anything crypto, anything real estate. We can talk about Easter, and we can talk about April 8th. That's kind of an interesting topic that's going around right now. If you guys have information or knowledge about that recent update from the RH attorneys, we'd love to hear your thought processes around that. You're muted, Dane.
Thank you. I think I feel like we talked about this last time we were streaming, but I think it's important to talk about again. It's funny to be on Twitter and see people losing their marbles when
Never.
Everyone's so calm and collected in Twitter. I think it's really healthy to be able to look at the charts and be able to step back from the emotions and say, hey, what does the data actually say what we're doing? And Corey did a great job of pointing this out to me. I think it was a few weeks ago, or maybe even longer, probably longer. He's like, you know what, Dane, we're right on track. If you compare us to other layer one blockchains, apart from Solana, we're right there. Pulse Chain's right there. So I'll pull up some charts. We'll look at some of that stuff. I think it's really healthy to see. And
we're not far off. And I'm sure you're going to pull them up, but we're not far off from like AVAX. We're not far off. I think we're beating Cardano. We're not far off with Phantom. Phantom had a very late start. We were going first before Phantom went. And so, the only exception to the rule here in the DeFi space, we're not talking about Bitcoin, guys. I know Bitcoin's at 75,000, whatever it's at, right? Like, I don't think it's quite that high, but it's up there. The only exception to this rule is Solana, and that's because, guys, so many VCs were involved in Solana, and all these influencers, they got pre-allocations from the last cycle. Like, of course, they're going to pump their bags because they got to dump. They got to get out. And so, like, they were shilling Solana back in, like, I think it was September of last year. I remember a lot of the big influencers coming out and shilling it, including one of our new friends, BitBoy. I mean, they're always shilling because they got allocation bags they have to dump. VCs are involved. They have to get that thing up so they can take profits. I know they did a good job. And there's nothing wrong with that, really. There really isn't. I mean, if you'd have got in Solana, you could have rode the wave up with them. But don't feel like you were missing out. We're not. Compare us to other ecosystems. We're not far off from what everyone else is doing. We hit a 5x from the bottom. I know everyone. The problem is, Dane, everyone measures from SAC rate.
That's exactly it.
You got to stop measuring from SAC rate. I know this is very controversial. You had plenty of time to buy the bottom. There's no longer from Sacrate. Sacrate is thrown out the window. I had a lot of money at Sacrate, guys. I got crushed. I don't care. I came in and bought multiple times in that bottom. I cannot measure from Sacrate anymore. It's just not how it goes. It's not how the game is played. Your cost basis got reset. That's all there is. And you have to measure from the bottom of the chart, where the chart bottom, literally, we were down there, guys, for like 3 months, just like a flat line, like somebody just passed in the hospital. Literally, there's nothing going on. I mean, we had plenty of time to get some buys in. I mean, there's just no more like, from Sacrate. So it's just, that's how it goes, man. It's welcome to crypto.
Welcome to crypto. You nailed it. You nailed it. All right, let me get a few of these pulled up.
Armando, yep, and D Nice. Yeah, April 8th is also the eclipse, which is kind of interesting that there's a lot of things going around that date, including, our ecosystem that's lining up that we might see some bullish momentum. I don't know. I know Hans was saying he was calling April 8th before even this new news, before the news of the RH stuff. He was talking about April 8th. Just because of the charts, the way the charts look. So it'd be interesting to see. You got charts telling us April 8th. You got the RH news. You got the clips. But it doesn't mean we're going to go up, guys. It also means we go down. It can go either way. Like I will probably see a move either way, in my opinion.
Jeez, why?
No, Brizology, I did not, but I did do every effort I could to accumulate what I could. I wish I could have bought more. That's all. But I probably overextended myself, and I'm okay with that.
All right. I've got a couple of price charts. Let me pull these up.
Cool. Let's take a look. We got Norbert driving his car as always. We even started 30 minutes later, Norbert, than normal, and you're still in the car.
Always.
Well, you're
car.
muted.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we got you.
Okay. Yeah, technical issues.
So let's
give.
In fact, Norbert, I love your insights on some of this stuff. So I'm going to share a couple of charts. I don't know how to make these ones. Oh, here we go. How to make this website darker. We're just going to have to deal with the bright white screen.
Yeah, it's
you
all
guys
right.
see my screen?
That.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is the Cardano price chart from the low back in, what is this? October. Clear up to as high as it's pumped so far. I mean, it's barely done over a double.
Whoop-de-do.
You look at this is AVAX. AVAX from its low back in October is done about a 6x and then retraced a little bit.
We've done a 5x.
Yeah, exactly. And then something like Pulse Chain. Let me pull it up here. Something like Pulse Chain, we've done, just like Corey's saying, from the low.
The low, right? Yep, right in there. There you go.
We've done a 5x.
So come on, guys.
Yeah. So we're right in line with a lot of the rest of the other similar layer 1 blockchains, and we just have to be patient. Like ETH hasn't even had a hard run against Bitcoin yet. We're just hanging out, waiting. It'll be really interesting. In fact, one of the things I'm curious about with your guys' thoughts, and some of you in the chat, with this time around, you have the BTC ETF, where the big boys are coming in and buying it. I don't think the big boys are looking to rotate that into ETH. Like the traditional mindset is Bitcoin runs and then people rotate some of that into ETH and then they rotate from ETH into other alts. I mean, I don't think JP Morgan Chase has any intention, or BlackRock has any intention to do that. I think they're just buying the Bitcoin so that they can go and sell to their customers. How do you think that'll affect Ethereum and alts running this time around?
I mean, I'll give my opinion, and then I'll let Norbert kind of cue in. Even if the ETH ETF does not get approved, so the ETH ETF would obviously change the rules of the game, what you just mentioned, because now they're going to want to accumulate as much as that as possible too. But even if not, you have a lot of people still riding the Bitcoin train who is not JP Morgan, who is not BlackRock. You have a lot of people in Bitcoin who are riding that wave up from BlackRock, who's pushing it up. Yes, they're the reason why it's going up, but you're going to have all these other people on that train who will exit that train from their mad gains in Bitcoin and go swap into Ethereum or other altcoins. They're JP Morgan and BlackRock aren't the only ones in Bitcoin. Yes, they're the ones pushing the price up, but I think BlackRock owns 250,000 Bitcoin. Like, there's millions of Bitcoin. So all the other Bitcoin holders will be the ones, they get to experience this massive magic carpet ride. And so they're going to go and buy altcoins in Ethereum. So because of the magic carpet ride that JP Morgan and BlackRock did. So what do you think, Norbert? You're muted.
Yeah, I'm trying to mute myself. You don't need to hear all these bing bongs and indications and stuff while driving. Yeah, I agree with you pretty well. But on the last, unfortunately, I missed you on the last Crypto Mastermind call because I was trying to bring a point across, and yeah, I didn't succeed too well. People are comparing Push Chain to other blockchains. How old are those blockchains? It's like, a few years old, most of them. Am I correct to say? So they have much more adoption, more popularity because it's better known and whatsoever. So it's not even fair to compare like a few months old chain, which is compared to others, which are a few years old chains. This is my first point I'm trying to make. But yeah, the only thing I'm not so I'm a little bit concerned about Ethereum and all these ETF things. It's good for us if the ETF gets approved later on down the line, because then gives the another dose to the market. So we have the halvening in April. Let's say things going up, the hype is up, and then things start to settle down. Then we have another dose with the Ethereum ETF. But the only problem with the Ethereum itself, that even now is fairly expensive chain. So if the hype's gonna get, like what are we looking at? $1,000 to swap coins, or you know what I mean? From the current price, if we go up, minimum $500 for a swap, and is it gonna be feasible for majority of the participants? I'm not sure. Big boys can play around, and fair enough, but yeah, it's a bit weird. And then Sprek was saying that if Push Chain is not gonna be able to produce green candles, that's it, we are done. Like, if we're not gonna make it in this bull cycle, then we are done. And then in order to get there, I don't remember 100% exactly how he said it, but he said we need the meme coins. Without the meme coins, we won't be able to achieve that. And I'm like, I don't think that we need those guys with a few $100s to come in and then start throwing money left, right, and center on fluffy animals and whatnot, because those guys are not gonna be a long-term investors, in my opinion. They're not gonna last as well, in my opinion. And I understand that, right now is Somid explains it clearly, break it down, that how many billions of dollars go into the dog with a hat and all shit, and then it's worth more than Push Chain and Hex together and stuff like that. I understand that, but everyone forgets a major point, and hopefully it's gonna work in your favor, guys, and maybe one day if we can work together in our favor, that tokenize assets is gonna be the next big thing, in my opinion. Because if we want serious money to come in, and these guys are they're not gonna, like these JP Morgans and like big investors, they're not gonna think about sitting in the office and like, which animal is gonna be the next popular thing next time. Maybe a turtle with a swimming dress, like maybe that's gonna. They're not gonna think like that. They think like tokenized asset class. If you can generate an NFT for a property, that's gonna be the next thing, and it's happening, in my opinion, already. Jewelries, watches, whatnot, all the expensive things gonna exist on the blockchain with a certificate, and that, in my opinion, that's gonna be the big thing. So which chain we can achieve that?
Yeah,
Ethereum, like I said,
I like the real world asset application. I think it's pretty interesting. I also think, you know, all the real world stuff that's been tied to the blockchain so far, it's performed terribly. It's underperformed. People aren't here in cryptocurrency for like stable gains. People are here and I don't care if you have $100 million or you have $1,000. People want to come and they want to play the casino. So I think the meme coins are really positive, frankly. They're just marketing. They're marketing to get people to come over and play the game. That's why people are going over to Solana, because you have somebody, you know, that jumps online and they went and turned a tiny bit into a ton of money. Now, did they take profits? Is it truthful? I don't know, but it's just marketing, and that's all that it is. And so those guys want to come and play. And I think, yeah, there's definitely a place for real world assets. Pulse Chain's already printed green candles. We're up a 5x from the low, and like Corey said, that's how you have to measure it. So we've already got green candles. I think we have some hilarious memes that have shown some strength, which has been a lot of fun. I think we need more of them. I think it's good for marketing and some of the real world stuff. In fact, that's something that Corey and I are working on. We'll share more details about that as we progress through. But there's a lot of cool things going on. And I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is they overthink. I remember doing this last bull run where I thought too practically about why something should pump and why it should make sense. And then something like Dog with Hat or Pepe goes and does a huge run. You know, like you can't overthink it too much.
I agree. I mean, I want all of it, Norbert. I want all of it. I want the meme coins. I want the utility tokens. Like utility tokens are pointing at the meme coin guys and say, you're bad. And then you get the meme coin guys like, you know, Tangame pointing at the utility tokens saying, you're bad. No, man, we need them all. Everyone's invited. Let's all build on this chain, whether it's, what is it? Turtle with swimming dress to the moon. Whether we want to do turtle with swimming dress.
Let's do it. Tell us when it launches, Fast Abdul.
Yeah. Or if we want to build the next, you know, apartment syndication that's attached to, you know, a awesome 404 contract, whatever it may be, right? Like there's going to be things that there's room for all of it. Now, I'm not the guy to go out there and build meme coins and promote meme coins, but do I participate in meme coins? Yeah. I do buy some meme coins here and there. I bought dick with butt. I bought, what is it? Actually, I don't know how it's pronounced, but you know, I participate in some of these things. Now I don't put my whole bag in there. Hell no, man. I put a very small little bit of money in there and see if I can try to, like, you know, make it to a 4x, 5x into my pulse. But I'm playing because it's boring right now. We're bored, right? And so I want to play some of these games and keep myself entertained. I can afford to play the games. I've got the majority of my blue chip portfolio built out. It's built out, right? You know, can I buy a little bit more? Sure. And I might. But I can also come over here and play these games with my money, the casino, if you will, because, you know, they're fun. They are fun. And it's Dane's right. It is marketing. It is marketing. And that's why retail is flocking to Solana right now, because Dog with Hat on Solana did that. Pepe did it, but Pepe was on Ethereum. I hope the Pepe and Pulse Chain is the next one to do a 300,000x. I don't know if it will, but it'd be cool if it did, because it happened on Pulse Chain. It'd be cool if Teddy Bear did a 300,000x because it came from Pulse Chain. I would love that, to market to the world that a Teddy Bear did a 300,000x. Are you kidding me? That is awesome marketing. That is phenomenal. And it came from Pulse Chain. You notice where these coins come from. Like when I heard what Dog with Hat, when I heard about it, I knew immediately when the first thing I did was I looked to see where this is on, what chain this is on. Oh, it's on Solana. Oh, okay. You know, you take notice of those things. And because people are going to think they can go over there and get rich now off of other meme coins. Is it true? Probably not. Probably not. They're going to get wrecked. But still, you need these things, and you need utility coins. You need all of it. It's part of the adoption. It's part of the growing pains that we need to go through as Pulse Chain.
Yeah, I'm not against meme coins. You know, don't take me wrong, but you know, stating something that we either gonna make it and we can only make it with meme coins. I just can't
I agree with that too.
Agree with that. You know, like, and then when I try to say that in the group, I think they some of the guys, they misunderstood me. When I said I put in 30,000 pounds, I didn't say it like, oh, I'm, oh, how cool I am, I managed to. And then one of the guys said, I made 30 grand in like a week because of meme coins. And I'm like, good for you. But that was even more, a bit more
Yeah, at
sounding
that point,
weird,
he's just now swinging his dick with
Yeah.
butt around, trying to like, it's not an ego contest. We're here discussing.
It just I was trying to say that I'm a serious
That would have
investor,
pissed me off
and
too.
and also someone who is strongly believe in these products, and good for you, like if you make 30 grand in a week on meme coins, by all means, but I just can't be, because that day I was trying to make a point. What were we how did we end up here in Pulse Chain? Like if someone came to you back in the days and said, hey, I got some fluffy animal pictures here, we're gonna make so much money out of it, probably you wouldn't participate, at the first place.
So
Me and Corey definitely would. Absolutely. If they were gonna make some
if
money,
someone
and
showed
I've
you
got
a this
outside
and then a
returns,
button,
let's
like,
go.
yeah, I mean.
Yeah, let's go. Because some of it, like, because that's the thing is in the end of the day, everyone's here to make money. And it's funny that a lot of people on social media pretend like they're not, and that they're so worried about what everyone else is doing. Facts, everyone's here to make some money. We all hope that when it comes time to take profits, that you're up, and that's the name of the game. And so, like, if you can come, I don't care what it's called, I don't care what it looks like. And Corey and I have been investing that way for a decade. We don't care what the opportunity is, but if it's a good one, then like we'll come and play the game. And something that's really high upside, like a meme coin, you will learn from experience pretty quickly that thing is incredibly speculative, and it could also go to zero. And so you bet accordingly. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And guys in our network are the same, and they've got way bigger holdings in real life than we do. Like, I don't think it has to do with needing a professionalized thing for them to come and like invest in. I think it's more you're weighing where is somebody at in their risk profile when it comes to investing. If somebody's a CPA or an attorney, they're probably just not going to come play the game. Those tend to be like risk averse people. If somebody's an entrepreneur, or an investor, they tend to have more risk, just because like you have to have some to come and be an investor, be an entrepreneur. And in our experience, they don't care what the stuff's really called or what it necessarily does. If there's the hope that it could make a lot of money, well, then their interest is piqued.
Yeah, absolutely. Opportunities are everywhere. My only problem is that, like I said, I used most of my bullets back in the day for like Icosa, Hedron, sacrifices, Hex, here and there, Pulse Chain, Pulse X.
We all did.
I know, and then I'm out of bullets. I still could squeeze in some money. It's just I don't want to. Like I reached the level, and that's it.
And that's
I think
perfectly
that's
fine.
really good, like self-awareness too. Like you don't need to. So many people are saying that they have to get rich from this bull run. This is going to be the last one to ever have an opportunity, and if you don't make enough money to never work again this bull run, that you're doing something wrong. Look, like we've talked about it a bunch on here. Norbert, you know this. You've been here. I'm not saying this for you. I'm saying this for people that may not
Generally
have heard
speaking,
us say this. But man, like you can do a lot of damage with a few $100,000. You could do a lot of damage with, $1 million if you use that properly in real life after this bull run's over, to go and buy a business or start a business, or, like go on a family vacation. You don't have to have life-changing, never work again money from the bull run for this really to be a win. And man, like I think that you're crazy if you don't think we've got another, 2, 5, 10x, certainly more in the tank. And so like you just have to be patient, ride the waves for some of those things, and have a perspective where like, you'll be great if you could go get a double, a 5x, a 10x on your money. You are not going to go get that anywhere else in the real world, or hardly anywhere else. And perspective is everything.
I agree. I mean, I love that, Dane. Go use the money to start a business. Be an entrepreneur. learn what it means to give value back to humanity and then being compensated for that value. It will change you as a human being. It will change you as a person. I telling people that real estate saved my life, because when I got into real estate, I was like in the drugs and I was an alcoholic and I was going nowhere fast. Like literally because of my entrepreneurship journey, it changed my mindset spiritually, got me closer to God. It changed me mentally. I learned how to love myself. This is all the things I learned from being an entrepreneur. I mean, there's a lot to be said about making money, but it's the path to being a million, becoming a millionaire, the path to that entrepreneurship journey that changes you as a person. Man, there's nothing like it, period, in the story. And you can use this bull run as the kindling to your new journey, your new adventure of becoming that multi-millionaire, changing the trajectory of your family tree. It's amazing. I mean, me and Dane, we started this entrepreneurship almost a decade ago. We're just using cryptocurrency now as a hedge to try to facilitate more along our entrepreneurship journey. But you think me and Dane, if we go and like make millions of dollars here in this bull run, we're just going to lay down and be like, okay, we're done? No, that's not how we think. That's not how. We're not going to be. We're far from done. Even after this bull run, that's what everybody wants. Everyone wants to like, we're all going to make it and then have millions of dollars and sit on the beach all day and do nothing else in life. What is the fun in that? Come on. Are you kidding me? You want your kids to see you do that? Go out and create value in the world. Go out and create businesses. Go out and flip some houses, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be real estate. It's just what the vehicle we know so well. But it could be other things. It could be e-commerce. It could be like, go start, I don't know, maybe some gas stations. Who knows? Go start some nail shops, whatever it may be. Restaurants. Restaurant business actually sucks. Your profit margins are very low in restaurant business.
You don't want anything to do with food, man. You don't want that.
Oh my God, it's brutal. I've known some wealthy restaurant owners, but man, it is a brutal business. Unless you like working 18 hours a day, and I don't. I like working, but I don't want to work 18 hours a day. So yes, I mean, give that some thought, guys. It's just everyone on Twitter, man. They want they have the lottery mentality. Let's get rich quick as fast as possible. It's just not how it is. I mean, yeah, you might get lucky in a couple coins. It's very well possible. But like Dane said, even if you get a 20x on your portfolio this cycle, are you going to be really that pissed? I mean,
what? You shouldn't be. You should be grateful.
Yeah. Great. I mean, I don't know where I can get 20x at. Like, I'm not going to do it flipping houses. Man, dealing with contractors and getting sued by the buyers and sellers and like, oh my gosh.
Yep, that's interesting. Something I wanted to talk about. I find this conversation really interesting. So more recently let me make sure. More recently on social media, on Twitter, there's been talks about marketing, and I think I just think this is really important for everybody to understand. And in fact, one of the comments here in the chat was a good one where they said, well, if the meme's just rug, then your family and friends say it's a scam, they don't play the game. I think that's a great point. I also think that it comes down to educating people that you're trying to help in crypto. You have to properly educate them, right? If someone wants to come in and you're talking about meme coins, well, I think Sami nailed it. Or you talk about 90% core, 10% lottery, and you play the game in such a way where you can continue to be in the game. So if something goes bad on a lottery, you haven't bet very much. I think it's really important. And I think marketing's the same. There's a really cool, I like this marketing push. So this is cool. There's a marketing push to go send out some mailers to wealthy people to try to educate them about Pulse Chain. And you guys tell me, in fact, post them in the comments. Have you ever taken action on calling a billboard? Like you're driving down the street, there was a call to action on a billboard to call a phone number or look at their website. Have you ever actually taken action on any of that? I think I've called one in my whole life. Corey Norbert contacted anybody from a billboard?
Not from a billboard. I have contacted, a business from like a postcard, but that's after also I've seen the postcard like over and over and over again in my mailbox. So when I came to think about the problem that I had that was associated to the business on that postcard, then I thought about that because I saw that postcard so many times. And one of my biggest issues with direct mail, I'm very familiar with direct mail, by the way. I did a lot of direct mail in my real estate journey. We used to spend about 50 grand a month in direct mail in the very beginning of my real estate journey, because that was when it was the most effective. And even then, you would have to send out about 4-5 months of direct mail before you start having homeowners call you, because now you're becoming front of mind. You're becoming top of mind when they're starting to feel distress. This is probably going to be no different. Any direct mail is a very long-term game. So if you're doing one-time direct mail, you're not going to get much results out of it. You need to do direct mail on a monthly basis.
Yeah, monthly or bi-monthly. And
even bi-monthly, yeah.
And they say on average it takes 7 touch points from a marketing perspective for somebody to actually their behavior to change and for them to actually do something about it. So back to the concept of like needing to properly educate your onboards. I love the idea of a mail campaign. I love different outreach methods that the community is talking about. I think it's important to know what that actually needs to look like, though, to have success. You can't send one round of mailers and hope that wealthy people that 99% of them have never done anything in crypto, let alone DeFi, they're going to magically come over and put all their money into Pulse Chain. Like, that's just not how this happens. And so it's the same as onboarding your family and friends. Like, they need a resource. Hopefully it's you that can educate them about how to do things properly, how to onboard money, how to build a portfolio in such a way that they're more likely to have success than not. And so, think that through as you're considering marketing, potentially putting money into things. Like, there's a lot of repetition and proper hand holding that needs to be done in order for the money to actually end up in Pulse Chain.
Well said. Well said.
I'm not sure if you are aware of this study, but and I'm sure you experienced it in your life too, that we are more prone to pay attention to moving images. Even if you have your TV on in the background, and then some pictures moving, you talking to someone, if your eyes catch a certain kind of vibration, color changes or contrast, you tend to look to the digital screen itself. So I would say that digital screen advertisement would be more effective, most likely, than paper things as well, because the paper one is outdated and is like.
Well, you would be surprised. The paper stuff does really good with older people that have money because they're used to paper.
Yeah,
They like something
it has certain target
so I think
groups
I like
for sure. Yeah.
If the goal is to go out to wealthy people, it's an easy list to obtain. It's easy to target them with mail. So I like the idea in theory. It just needs to be done frequently and consistently over time. But you're right, Norbert. People like you and me, not so much Corey because he's almost a boomer. But you and me.
No. He's cool. Yeah.
I'm just teasing. Yeah, but younger people in general respond more to like digital stuff and whatnot.
Funding Gym gave me a good idea. Like I said, I'm working on becoming more financially free and then doing other things with my friends. We started doing trading and whatnot. And we agreed on, that even if we're going to be a successful traders and making revenue on a regular basis, not just going to be like, oh yeah, I want to have a next whatever shoes or the nicer car or send some money for charity. No, I want to be the guy who takes the money there and then say, oh, we need something to build. Okay, then we can contribute as consultants and we can also give the money as well. And whatever we can do to make it successful, we're going to do it. But my point was that if we want to onboard, going back again, like longevity, serious money, and or some guys chucking some money in here and there. So if you sorry, the neighbor wants me to move.
Are you parked in front of his house, Norbert? I mean,
yeah, exactly. No. And people here, they are like, no, this is right front of my door. But yeah, there's no bay here, man. So like, seriously. Anyway, so Funding Gym gave me a brilliant idea of if we want adoption and we want serious players to come in, I think we should target the private members clubs. And, just nimble in, here and there, and then say, yeah, I do this sometimes. This is what I do for this is part of my portfolio. This is I started because it's not coming through as needy. You know, like if you try a different way, we target the wrong people with lower money, and then you're gonna be like you're gonna feel responsible that someone put in like they $3,000 from their savings with some of my friends, and then now they crying. I understand why they're disappointed, but they say, "Oh, Pushkin is not doing anything. When we're gonna have that money?" I'm like, man, I never guaranteed anything to you. Like we tried. My portfolio is down too, but whatever. But yeah, I think these sort of ways, the smarter ways of doing these private member clubs. He also mentioned yacht owners expo. When people go and then like, oh yeah, yachts. This is the latest design. This is whatever the newer thing. To go there and make contacts.
Yeah, it's tapping in niche communities, right? Like that's what we do with real estate investors is we join these masterminds and we go to these events and we tap into these niche communities. You could do it like, say, for example, maybe you own, I don't know, maybe you own a Corvette, because I used to own a Corvette, so that's why it came top of mind. You go join the local Corvette club. And then inside there, you're going to have people who have, medium to big money. And so you can talk about what you do, and then the cryptocurrency comes up, and then you're going to talk about. So it's a good place to onboard from, because one, it's no coiners. No coiners, from my experience, are the easiest to onboard into your ecosystem because they don't have biases. When someone has biases and is already kind of like bought into another cult, if you will, it's hard to convert them. It just is. And so when you get no coiners, you can convert them very easily into your ecosystem because they're not in one, right? You just got to convert them why the dollar sucks, or convince them why the dollar sucks. Convince them why, holding your money in a bank after you work hard and have your business, create money, why it sucks. Was put us somewhere where, the inflation is not going to hurt us, where we do have opportunity to, multiply that money. Cryptocurrency is a perfect place for that. And so it's an easy way to infiltrate these sub niche communities. Yeah, yacht club would be great. I'm sure I could find one. Me and Dane probably could find a yacht club here in Puerto Rico where all the, the wealthy are hanging out at.
Classic car clubs, I'm sure those guys would be interested too, something like the serious. It's just, it's fine. We need to have this colorful palette of coins. It's good to have a bit of fun, laugh a little bit, throw some money at it, but being strongly dependent on it. Did you know that Solana volume is like so much influenced and manipulated through bots, and then a lot of little transactions going back and forth, like not doing anything, but still trading. Yeah, kind of like that, and it's still counted toward as a overall performance of the chain itself. And I'm like, just because I buy 5 and then wow. Some Range Rover SVR, the really powerful one, just went through next to me. My window was shaking. So yeah, they are just wish washing, and yeah, as you were saying, and a lot of mini transactions, and it's just fake. I think Pushchain has, because look around, what kind of guys we have in Pushchain? Honest, genuine, genuine people. That's why I came to Pushchain. I never came to Pushchain because of some fluffy animals or colorful pictures and things like that. I kind of resonated with the people that, they said something and it was like that. There was no bad intentions, genuinity, longevity, improving, that's why I came here. So flipping around and then saying, no, we need to go down the meme coins routes. I can't see that. And then what's good's gonna come out of that? Many people are building projects on Pushchain already, so let them build. It takes time to build those things. Like I said, we are only a few months old chain. I don't even remember when we came out, when we started Pushchain.
It's about 10 months.
About 10 to 11 months. I think we might be going on 11 now.
I would say Pushchain needs another year from now on, another 14 months.
That's 2 years. Top, bro.
But if we do it well, my theory for a while, I'm trying to think about markets, and like I said, we do trading. We check a lot of news, what's going on, what affecting things. If JP and friends and all these other guys throwing a lot of money into the market, it's gonna make it more stable and less volatile. So I don't think we're gonna have those previous cycles repeating itself when you're gonna have like downtrend and then sudden uptrend, and then we takes as much
Sure,
as
there
you
could be
can,
less
and then
volatility over
we
time.
drop
Sure.
down, and then we're gonna suffer for another 4 years. I don't think it's gonna be like that. This ETF is about to change everything, and a lot of people talk about these tokenized assets. If those gonna come, it's just gonna be constant building and growing slowly. So I think maybe another things like Solana and whatever, they're gonna have their run, but then after that, Pushchain can be like, yeah, fine, you had your run, but we are here for the long term. We're building things, we collaborating, so then our time can come too, when we're gonna be like climbing on a decent pace, and then it's just the X is gonna come on a more spread out ways, let's say.
I think we're a ways
Hopefully.
away from that. I think the people come to crypto for the volatility, and yeah. But I'm with you. It'll be interesting to see how that happens over time. Rich has a good question here. He says, "Price speculation when PulseX burn is 10%." I mean, I don't know what the price is going to be. Nobody does, right? Nobody has a crystal ball. What I do think is really interesting is like, where is the speculation happening? At least from the bottom. Well, people are buying PulseX and Ink up in droves, at least from the bottom. And I think it's because they're arguably the two most speculative of all of Richard's tokens. Like, what cool things could Richard's team update with PulseX? What could that do to price performance? It's got the buy and burn. Like, there's things to speculate on there. Same with the incentive token. Could Richard use that and coordinate it into the wallet? And like, what could its actual purpose be? There's a lot of speculation around those two things. And in my opinion, that's one of the reasons they're outperforming Richard's other tokens. Hex is pretty controversial. I think there's a lot of people, it just goes way over their head. And I think that there's a lot that's reflected on the price chart. And Pulsechain will have its time in the sun, where I think Pulse is going to rip faces off. It'll be interesting. But yeah, I think PulseX is going to do just fine.
I love it.
Yeah, I like this too. I agree with this comment. Ink needs to go high so people want to farm.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I like it. If I was Richard, Ink would be one of the ones I'd be pumping first.
The best performing. Yeah. I made this point several times and people didn't listen, or like, yeah, whatever. Ink is like the bloodline of the entire system, because
it really is.
If Ink is not, and then like, okay, and somebody was saying it, oh, I'm happy if Ink stays the same price because I'm earning this and that. Yeah, but if we want more money to come in, we have to attract those people. And then those people, if they come in, they're only gonna come in if they see that is rising and it has a strong value, because that makes the farm floating. So Ink price staying the same is good for certain individuals who already put the money in, and then they put in. But if you want the other guys to come in, they're only gonna come in if they see the climb.
Also, what was the most depressed assets?
Right.
Ink, PulseX, they got absolutely obliterated during our bear market, during the SEC FUD. So, of course, those are the ones that are probably going to rebound the hardest. I wish I would have took that more in consideration when I was building my portfolio out. I would have allocated a lot less to Hex. I'll be first to say it here. I really don't think Hex is going to outperform Richard Heart's new assets. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of the Hex Matsies will argue with me till they're blue in the face on this. And I've been saying it before, Hex is just, like you said, Dane, it's harder to understand. I'm not saying Hex won't do well. It will. But people understand what a layer one is. People understand DEX. People understand a simple incentive token, because they've had all this last time. And it's been time tested and proven, where Hex is still that kind of hard game theory thing to think about. Nobody cares about your T-share game theory. That's not what's going to onboard people and make Hex go to the moon. Just sorry, it's not. It's not going to work that way. But I love Hex. I own bags of it. I do, and I'm not selling it. I'm going to keep my Hex. But I still think, man, the Ink and Pulse X are going to be the Steining shards of the show for at least a little while. It could change. We could be like mid-market towards the end of the year. Maybe we see the other assets really pumping hard. We might see Hex really drive hard at the end of the market cycle. That's what it did last time. And they might just go and do a big old moonshot. It's very well possible, but I'm not going to like sacrifice my Ink and Pulse X bags at this time when those are the main runners.
Right. Right. Cool. Well, this is probably a good place to wrap it up. I'm going to go have some lunch. Appreciate you being on here, Norbert.
Me too. I haven't had lunch either. It's already past 5 o'clock.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys in the chat. I'm glad we could do a quick show today and jump on with you guys. And with that, we'll catch you next week.
See you guys. Peace.
Thank
Have a
you
good
for your
Easter.
time. All the best, everyone. Happy
Good
Easter.
Easter.